think we've been known to be a LinkedIn partner for a very long time. And ideally, for those who have already interacted with us, we are the exclusive partners for LinkedIn. So if you need any support on LinkedIn or any of the solutions, we are the people in the region, in the market, available to offer you support. Now, after doing this for a couple of years and enjoying it and loving the exclusivity element of it, we are introducing something new. We're introducing a new partner called Logan. They're an advertising platform that has a very unique solution. Just to give you a bit of insight into who they are a global brand. They are in 27 markets as at the making of this document. And we are now being added to these regions. They have already worked with over 2,000 brands. They've run over 60,000 campaigns. They have yet to get into the African market, and that's where we come in, and that's why we've partnered with them. Now, Logan's unique proposition is what they call the Logan Footprint ID. What Logan has done is that it's taken your offline behavior information and taken your online behavior information and combined this to create a unique persona and then map out your journey, because we're also including offline, and develop very precise way of targeting such that there's zero waste in ads. Do I need to run through that again? Okay, so what Logan has done is that it's taken your online behavior. How do you engage in apps with apps? Sometimes some of us leave our location open, sometimes it's off. There are different apps that we're engaging with. We've already given our rights to those apps, right? These apps, as we already joke about it, they do listen, but they also track. They're collecting certain data points. So they're not collecting your unique identities, but they're connecting your behavior, right? How you move in the world, who you are in the world, your demographics, right? And then combining and uploading this into the engine and refining it to ensure that when we're targeting this particular persona, there's no wastage. And that's where Logan comes in terms of the solution that we are offering. And this offline behavior is not limited to just online devices, but it's also inclusive of connected TV, streaming services, and what we already know as digital on mobile, on websites, on certain apps. This is just a quick run through of our numbers. These are our numbers across Africa. I thought it's good to just give context, but if we come closer home, these are our numbers in Kenya. Please note, we have 0 cookies. So we do already have, we can basically be able to reach 22.8 million of our audiences in Kenya if you run a campaign with us. And that includes all devices, smartphones, tablets, TVs, computers, gaming consoles, your streaming services. So think about that in terms of how we target. These are just some numbers for East Africa. I thought it would be nice to get a look because some of us do work in the region. These are Tanzania numbers. Uganda, we're at 9.5, and in Rwanda, we are at 2.5. And of course, it's constantly growing. You'll see that it's a little bit lower than most of our big social media platforms, but that's because the engine is, with our engine, we're trying to make sure that we've refined the data and the IDs that we're collecting to ensure that our ads have zero waste. When it comes to targeting, you can choose as a brand, do you want to just target on one channel? So from Logan platform, you can either say, I just want to target people on their mobile phones or on their smartphones and tablets and desktops. But you can also say, I want to target them on connected TV. And I want to target them also through their in-store experiences. So I can geo-target them, right? So you have the option of meta mobility, whereby you can target across the target audiences, experiences, without limiting it to one channel or another. And of course, this is why we call it zero waste. But the other thing that we have done to ensure our data is clean, or that Logan's data is clean, is actively collecting polls and surveys, which is ideally first-party data. So reaching out to actually these device owners and getting them to actively opt in to be part of our audience. So that ensures that our content is, our targeting is also very clear and very clean, and we're also serving people what they want to see. Oh yeah, sorry, that was a slide. Okay, so just, I'm gonna run through this quickly. I think we all need a break. In terms of how our data works, we call it small data because we're collecting it across the board. So we're collecting first mobile Fast mobile is we're collecting data on mobile first because that gives us your behavioral signals, right? And then on top of that, we then get your geo data, which then tells us about your movement, right? Or rather tells our audience. And then there's the zero-party data where we do the surveys and the polls to collect the data. And then we combine all this data to be able to create this Logan ID footprint, or footprint ID. And of course, we are still doing this within the GDPR policy requirements and all the requirements around data protection for the unique markets that we're working with. Sorry. So this is just a sample of how we would actually target a client or an audience. Say, for example, you're targeting a mom when they're doing a school drop-off, when they're doing their regular shopping or going to the gym. You know, where do they stop for fast food? You know, just the whole journey. And once we've mapped out this journey, we can then serve them ads based on what we want to promote to them. So based on who your brand is or what you're trying to sell, we can definitely create this journey for you, for your clients, and then set up the campaign for you to ensure that we're running it at an optimized level and delivering zero waste. This is quickly just a sample of how we do our targeting in terms of the data that we collect. So, you know, what are their interests, what are their ages, what is your gender. We still are translating some of these slides, so I apologize for that. In terms of ads, we've got different ad formats. We actually have over 150,000. Over 150 types of ad formats. It's quite a lot, so we won't overwhelm you with all the formats, but there are those that we're already familiar with, which is very easy for us to identify for you based on your campaign. So once we have a brief, we'll also recommend which ad formats would be most ideal. However, there is quite a range to pick from. We have as many as also in-game virtual out of home, in-game ads. And this is a little bit of connected TV and streaming and apps. When you think about gaming, and for those who are really into gaming, there are different experiences there. I want to play for you some case studies. I'm just going to jump through this. Also, this is just a screenshot of all the ad formats that we might have. This is also just some examples of some of the ad formats that we have. So we also have different reports that we can capture. So if you want to do a brand lift survey, I know this is coming up a lot, in-store lift surveys. So the different surveys that we need, we can also run these campaigns for you as we run your campaigns. And now the other thing that I'm really excited about, Logan. Oh, okay. The other thing that I'm really excited about Logan is about, we're all talking about emissions, carbon credits, you know, we need to save the world, climate change, and the likes. And at Logan, what we have done is, first and foremost, we've reduced emissions by 50% just by integrating streaming as our channel of delivering ads. So if you're tracking your carbon usage and you're trying to save on carbon emissions, this is one way of doing it. And we do actually provide a report on this once it's done. So we are able to calculate how much we've saved. So our streaming platform allows us to save 50%. So as opposed to carbon compensation, we are actually absolutely reducing carbon emissions. Then when we look at our small data, because of how refined it is, we're also reducing carbon emissions by 33%. And then, of course, there's the percentage that we can't really eliminate 100%, and that we offset by investing in projects around carbon emissions and offsetting the carbon footprint that we're creating. And a report can be provided for you at the end of every campaign so that you can keep track of how your credits are looking from a campaign perspective. Some of the brands we've worked with, oh, great, the screen is back. So that's what I was talking about in terms of how we offset carbon credits. And why Logan ideally would be a best channel for you is we're truly omni-channel. There's no cookies that we're using. Of course, we all know that it's the death of the cookie, right? And then, of course, it's measurable and it's also sustainable from a carbon emission perspective. Some of the brands that we've worked with globally, or agencies that we've worked with, and yeah, I am receiving briefs. I know we're all breaking for the holidays, but if you do have any briefs and you want to kind of get a feel of what would your campaign look like on Logan, or how do we price on Logan, please feel free to reach out to myself. And can my team raise their hands? And that's my team. Please reach out to any of them, get a business card, get my business card, and do send us a brief. We'll be happy to support you. Any questions? You've been an amazing audience. Clap for yourselves. Okay, then clap for me. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and do enjoy the rest of your day.